Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following: IU Health Southern Indiana physicians, primary care and specialty care providers now accepting new patients in Bloomington and throughout South Central Indiana. siphysicians.org. IU Center for Applied Cybersecurity Research, working to improve cybersecurity and provide policy guidance through partnerships with industry, government, and academia. Main Source Bank, headquartered in Greensburg, Indiana, offering products and services to fit every stage of life. More information at mainsourcebank.com. Main Source, life needs a great bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Smithville Fiber, the Gigacity Company. Fiber Internet, HD, and digital IPTV in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com.
And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Not that anyone is counting, but there's just a week and a half left now before the election. This campaign season has left people exhausted, frustrated, and confused. Ahead, an expert joins us to talk about election stress disorder and how it's affecting people's stress levels. Could tablets be the future of prison education?
It's a social tool as well. Mental health, it's kind of the entire package, which is great.
Next, we visit a juvenile correction facility and explain the way tablets are being used. Plus, competitors prepare for an annual pumpkin launch.
We're pretty consistently hitting about 700 feet.
That's more than 2 football fields. Those stories, plus the latest news headlines from across the state, right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Republican vice presidential candidate and Indiana Governor Mike Pence was back on the campaign trail today after his plane made a rough landing last night at LaGuardia Airport in New York. My colleague Barbara Brosier joins us now for more on that and the latest on this week's top stories.
Thanks, Joe. Those aboard the plane, including Pence, said the approach was bumpy and that the plane hit the runway hard before careening into a grassy area. They smelled burning rubber when it was over. Airport officials say the plane was slowed by concrete safety barriers designed to slow aircrafts that overshoot the runway. Passengers, including Pence, were evacuated through the back of the plane. The Marion County prosecutor has asked state police to release no additional information on its investigation into possible voter fraud in 56 of the state's counties. Police have said their investigation includes possible forgery of signatures on voter registration applications collected by Patriot Majority USA. Patriot this week asked a court to unseal documents from a search of its offices. The group says officials need to provide the facts to support the, quote, false claims they're making about Patriot. The 3 candidates vying to become the next governor of Indiana agree that drug use and addiction are issues that need more attention. During their final debate in Evansville this week, Republican Eric Holcomb and Democrat John Gregg voiced their support for needle exchanges and expanding treatment services.
We're going to have to focus on making sure that we're preventing, that we're enforcing, and that we're treating, most importantly, the families and individuals that are caught up in this scourge.
The truth of the matter is we have got to change the way we look at drugs. For the dealer and the trafficker, they need locked up. To the violent criminal, they need locked up. But to many Hoosiers, we need to realize this is a medical issue, and we need to treat it as such. And we need to realize that rehabilitation works.
Libertarian Rex Bell says that while he supports needle exchanges, he doesn't think it should fall to the government to operate them.
It's not something that can't be done privately. Needles cost 7 cents. We've seen instances in West Virginia and different states around where private individuals and private organizations have set up a needle exchange at the local pharmacy. It's something we can do. There's a lot we can do that doesn't involve government force.
The state has 8 approved county-run needle exchange programs. The Indiana State Department of Health has hailed them as one of the most effective ways to combat HIV and hepatitis C. But the state doesn't provide any money, so the exchanges depend on donations and support from foundations to operate. Charges have been dropped against Libertarian 9th District congressional candidate Russell Brooksbank. He was arrested in Louisville after an alleged struggle over his phone during a September traffic stop. Brooksbank is running against Democrat Shelley Yoder and Republican Trey Hollingsworth. The Indiana Court of Appeals ruled that a lawsuit over Department of Child Services caseloads can move forward. The ACLU of Indiana sued DCS on behalf of a caseworker who oversees 43 children. The state has not indicated whether it will appeal the court's ruling. A study released by a public defense advocacy group says Indiana's public defender system fails to provide adequate representation. The study found many counties avoid oversight from the Indiana Public Defenders Council by foregoing state reimbursement for some public defense cases. The report also details a practice in some Indiana counties where judges choose private attorneys to provide public defense, which the Sixth Amendment Center says creates a conflict of interest.
There are a number of very good lawyers, and in many places the best criminal defense lawyers are public defenders. But if you take the best lawyer and you handcuff their hands behind their back and you blindfold them and you give them no resources and throw them in the ring, what are you going to expect?
The study makes 5 recommendations for improving Indiana's system. Construction delays along the I-69 segment that will run from Bloomington to Martinsville have prompted a New York-based company to downgrade the status of bonds issued for the project. Fitch Ratings has lowered its bond rating for the developer from BB to B. Fitch cited continued delays in construction and unresolved disputes involving the developer, its contractors, and the Indiana Finance Authority. A legislative study committee this week recommended a series of potential changes to Indiana's alcohol laws. Recommendations approved by the committee include a review of the state's alcohol permitting and licensing system. Lawmakers say they're concerned about the difficulty of withholding delinquent child support from fantasy sports winnings. A law that goes into effect in July requires operators to make a reasonable effort to provide the support. The Indiana Gaming Commission's attorney says the issue is fantasy sports winnings can fluctuate throughout the year. A new report from researchers at Indiana University says the number of flu shots being administered at pharmacies is rising. In 2007, around 3 million flu shots were given at pharmacies. 6 years later, and that number has risen by more than 17 million. But the overall number of people receiving flu shots isn't going up.
Probably what happened is the same people who wanted to get their flu shots before, still get them, but now they get them in a pharmacy.
That means fewer people are getting shots from their usual doctor. Wing calls the results of pharmacy-based flu shots a success for patients because in most cases it's a more convenient option. Organizers of an event focused on HIV awareness say engaging younger African American students is crucial to stopping the spread of the infection. Brothers United hosted the awareness event. It was at Pike High School in Indianapolis.
We were coming in a situation where a lot of young black males were coming up with HIV or testing positive for HIV, and there wasn't an organization in the state of Indiana there to combat that epidemic.
Lawson says Brothers United aims to eliminate or reduce social determinants as much as possible. That can include things such as poverty, transportation barriers, or a lack of education that contributes to the spread of HIV. The ex-wife of former Subway pitchman Jared Fogle is suing the restaurant chain for damages, saying the company received 3 reports indicating his sexual interest in children, but failed to take proper action and continued promoting him as their spokesman. The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages. A spokeswoman said Subway did not have an immediate response, but would provide comment. A judge sentenced Fogle to 15.5 years in prison last year after he pleaded guilty to child pornography and sex crimes. Indiana health officials say they're offering another location where East Chicago residents affected by elevated levels of lead and arsenic can get help. The area was contaminated by smelters and other industrial sites that operated for decades. The extra location will offer affected residents blood lead testing, flu shots, birth certificates, and childhood immunizations. More than $67 million in federal funding is heading to Indiana to help low-income families pay their energy bills and make cost-effective home energy repairs. The federal money is part of the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. A commercial real estate firm has announced it purchased a former coal plant in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, with interest in turning it into a fourth port for the state. The company says it will take 3 to 5 years for environmental remediation and to tear down the existing structures. East Chicago, Gary, and Union officials had hoped another port would be located on Lake Michigan. A new initiative plans to enroll 500 new high school students in a state-sponsored college scholarship program for low-income students. The program provides low-income students up to 4 years of undergraduate tuition at participating public colleges or universities. A partnership between Indiana Black Expo, Indiana University, and the Indiana Commission for Higher Education will identify, enroll, and help students complete requirements for the 21st Century Scholarship Program. Well, there are only a couple of days left to grab an ice cream cone from the original Chocolate Mousse in Bloomington. A developer bought the land the historic ice cream stand sits on and will demolish the building to make way for apartments. Now, the Chocolate Mousse will have a new home in that building, but many say it just won't be the same. The landscape of Bloomington's downtown is constantly evolving.
I remember when that used to be the licensed branch.
But for decades, one thing has remained the same.
Come down here, it's kind of like being a kid again.
The Chocolate Mousse's brown and pink ice cream stand hasn't changed much since the original owners built what was first known as the Penguin in 1955. It still has just one window for taking orders, and that's just part of the experience.
We're one of the few places you'd ever see where people are like standing in line. It's part of the experience.
That line is expected to be especially long this weekend as the Chocolate Mousse scoops up its last cones at its original location. The time has come for it to change too.
People are like, man, I can't believe you would do this. It actually wasn't our ownership's call. They don't own the land.
The business will reopen in a new building in this location in a few months. But it's this original structure from decades ago that so many people are so connected to. That's why the owners are hoping to use as many pieces of this building in their new home.
We'd like to really kind of carry over the nostalgic effect of it because we realize that we're never going to be able to completely recreate that feeling.
The open sign will go dark Sunday night after the last scoop is served, symbolizing, for many, the end of an era.
This is the last time this whole place is going to be here.
Now don't worry, Chocolate Mousse ice cream will still be available at other Bloomington businesses and at the Brown County location. The building could come down though as early as November 1st. And Joe, check this out. A lot of people are already starting to think about basketball season. In Indianapolis, you can check out a photo exhibit that celebrates the culture of Indiana high school basketball. Photographers Michael Keating and Chris Smith teamed up to capture images of high school basketball from 130 gyms. They traveled more than 10,000 miles in the process. The Hoosier Hardwood Photo Project will be on display at the Indiana Historical Society through November 12th. Indiana loves this basketball, Joe.
Yeah, it's hard to believe some college basketball starts exhibition, but next week already.
I can't believe it.
Thanks, Barbara. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. Tablets at an Indiana Juvenile Correction Facility are offering inmates a range of opportunities. Ahead, how the devices are being used as more than just an educational tool. Plus, how far can these Hoosiers sling a pumpkin? We'll talk to the makers of a pumpkin launcher as they gear up for a pretty serious competition this weekend. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
We are a nation of explorers. We seek new ways of living, of thinking, and of expressing ourselves. We take risks. We learn from experience. And we keep moving forward. That's why we encourage and celebrate the explorer in all of us.
$10,000.
15? 15, you think?
20, 21,000?
600.
20. 18.5.
24.
It's at least 40.
Look at it.
4,500,000.
650.
20.
650.
This textile would be worth about $500,000.
$500,000?
No way.
I knew it. It's just a blanket.
Laying on the back of a chair. Well, sir, you have a national treasure.
Wow.
A national treasure. Congratulations.
I can't believe this.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. November's election will bring in new officials and leaders, but it also brings change, uncertainty, and powerlessness. It's not unusual to become argumentative or avoid social media. Dr. Datillo is an adjunct professor at the IU School of Medicine working in the Department of Psychiatry. She's here to discuss how elections affect us emotionally and what we can do about it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Joe.
It's
good to be here.
I was just saying that last night. I think I saw 4 back-to-back election ads on television. Right. Is that it? Is it just that it's too much? What causes election stress?
That's a really good question. It is a bit too much, and I think people are trying to enjoy some evening television, and maybe they've forgotten about it for a minute, and then they're back to commercials, and it's that back-to-back-to-back. It's sort of never ending, and that's stressful.
So there's conflict. I mean, there's two sides. It's an election. Is there something about the way that we discuss to the election that causes that fatigue or stress?
Sure. I think because it is such an adversarial process and it's a competition and it is stressful. When we get stressed out, we don't think as clearly. We're running on emotion, okay? And so we're not thinking through the process as clearly. We get into some heated conversations that maybe we wouldn't otherwise have, and I think that just feeds the stress and anxiety, and it just kind of escalates from there.
Mm-hmm. Now, how about family? We talk with family. Is there a way to approach the dinner table to talk about election where it can still be maybe not as stressful?
Sure. It might be helpful to set some ground rules, or say if we're going to talk about the election at dinner tonight, then maybe we want to be fair and not get too personal and try not to let it get too heated. I think having some limits around that could be helpful, but I also think it's a good time to practice tolerance. Really listening to other people's opinions, points of view, which may be different from yours, and that's okay.
How about just some options about stress and how to, just in general, get over it?
Yeah, well, I think it's important to remember that no matter what happens on November 8th, life will go on. One of the reasons we get so stressed out this time of year is we begin to catastrophize, worst case scenario thinking, like if this happens, then it's the worst thing that could ever happen, and that's probably not true. And so what you want to ask yourself is, what is it that I'm imagining will be so awful, right? Ask yourself, would you be able to handle it if that's what happened? And chances are you would.
So what about yourself? Are you ready for this election to be over or not?
I am ready for this election to be over. I've had enough.
Thank you very much for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Joe.
A juvenile correctional facility in southeastern Indiana started experimenting 2 years ago. It distributed secure tablet computers to all the girls. The goal of the technology was to help improve their educational experiences and opportunities. But as Barbara Brozier reports, the tablets are having an impact beyond the classroom.
It's just before lunchtime, but this classroom is unusually quiet. One student is reading The Color Purple on a tablet, another is working on grammar exercises. It's not unusual to see students working on tablet computers in the classroom, unless you go to a school like this. Promise Junior and Senior High School is at Madison Juvenile Correctional Facility. It's one of 4 facilities like this in the state. So what you see in this classroom is unique. Kids don't have access to the internet while they're here.
That's hard for us because so much content is digitally delivered. And so many textbook companies Instructional materials are all in digital format, or they come with supplemental materials that are in digital format.
Susan Lockwood is the director of juvenile education for the Indiana Department of Corrections, and she wanted the girls here to be on a level playing field with students in Indiana's public schools. So she started a pilot program, giving each of the 45 girls a tablet from a startup called American Prison Data Systems.
It uses a Verizon network that's a secure network, but it's a separate network that the typical Verizon user wouldn't be using.
So the girls can't just get online and search the internet. Teachers like Samantha Goldsmith drop instructional materials onto the tablet for them to access during or after class. For a recent lesson about the Great Depression, she shared photos, music, and video.
This one in particular about the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire, that was way more interesting, letting them watch it and watch it be reenacted. Way more interesting for the girls.
Goldsmith says the tablets give her the ability to teach students in a way that caters to each of their individual learning styles. Instead of just giving them an article to read, she'll also record herself reading the article for girls who are auditory learners.
I can't say enough good things about being able to about the ability to be able to do this in so many different ways. I mean, it's just crucial.
And there's evidence the tablets are helping them learn. The company that makes the technology did a study last year and found the girls' reading scores went up after they received the tablets. And that's not the only change the staff has noticed. The technology helps the girls avoid some of the daily drama that pops up.
These tablets offer a really excellent way of kind of disconnecting for a moment, regrouping their thoughts, but just by listening to music.
The girls have access to a limited music and ebook library that they can use in their free time. There's also a program that allows them to directly message the adult staff at the facility, allowing for quicker responses and causing a drop in the number of grievances filed.
It's a social tool as well. Mental health, I mean, it's kind of the entire package, which is great. You can't always say that about textbooks.
Lockwood says she has gotten calls from people who don't agree with giving those who are incarcerated access to tablet technology because they think the girls should be punished. The Indiana Department of Corrections says the program cost about $60,000. And Lockwood says not giving juveniles access to tools that help them learn will end up punishing all of society.
I would flip it around to say, why shouldn't they have tablets? Because we need to get them on the right path. And we can't get them on the right path if they don't have the tools. And these are tools that every other kid their age would be using inside a classroom.
The program's been so successful. The Department of Corrections is considering expanding tablet access to all of the people in its adult and juvenile facilities. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Barbara Brozier.
The Department of Corrections put out a request for information earlier this summer, asking for more information about tablet technology for its incarcerated populations. It's reviewing the submissions. Well, it's kind of amazing all the uses for pumpkins. Of course, you can carve them and bake with them. But what about using them for sport? Teams across southern Indiana are preparing for this weekend where they'll compete to see who can chuck the pumpkin the farthest. Meredith Juliet reports.
A lot of families have fall traditions, but Denise Alano Martin's is probably different than yours. Alano Martin and her family launch pumpkins, and they do it very well.
Tetanus Express is our team name. So we have the metal A-frame as sort of the base of our machine, and it's very, very rusty. So we came up with the team name Tetanus Express because we're shooting those pumpkins out of that rust bucket.
At last year's annual Bloomington pumpkin launch, they tied for a record pumpkin launch. Their pumpkin flew for 739 feet. That's the equivalent of more than 2 football fields.
We're pretty consistently hitting about 700 feet.
When it comes to shooting for distance, the perfect size for this trebuchet is a pumpkin between 5 and 6 pounds. This pumpkin is 5 pounds and 7 ounces, making it ideal for flying. Team Tetanus Express spends 3 to 4 hours practicing on the weekend. They built their trebuchet about 5 years ago out of scrap metal. Denise's brother owns an auto shop, so it works out perfectly.
It's a whole lot of fun for us to get together as a family and spend time together doing something really kind of stupid.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Meredith Juliet.
More than a dozen teams are expected to participate in this weekend's pumpkin launch competition. The judges use GPS to measure the distance between the pumpkin, or how long, or the distance that the pumpkin travels. The winner gets bragging rights and a trophy. Well, you may be hearing more about the World Series than years past. It could be because former IU player Kyle Schwarber is finding success at bat, or because of Indiana's position between the two finalists. Many Hoosiers in northern Indiana have been Cubs fans for many years.
And what helped that more than anything is when you have success, and when they were on cable TV. You can watch the Cubs every day, so a lot of people have grown up with that.
And if you're watching on a Friday, tonight is Game 3, and Barbara, I know you and I will be both rooting for the Cubs because we both, I grew up in Northwest Indiana.
And I grew up in Illinois.
Hey, we have something that we want to show you just to kind of go back, and you know who that guy is?
Ron Santo.
Ron Santo. That was at a Cubs caravan in Maryville.
That's amazing, and that's after a Cubs game in Cincinnati that my husband and I went to.
So cool. And that's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following: IU Health Southern Indiana physicians, primary care and specialty care providers now accepting new patients in Bloomington and throughout South Central Indiana. siphysicians.org. IU Center for Applied Cybersecurity Research, working to improve cybersecurity and provide policy guidance through partnerships with industry, government, and academia. Main Source Bank, headquartered in Greensburg, Indiana, offering products and services to fit every stage of life. More information at mainsourcebank.com. Main Source, life needs a great bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Smithville Fiber, the Gigacity Company. Fiber Internet, HD, and digital IPTV in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com.
And by WTIU members. Thank you.